Good morning, everybody. It's Josh. I just walked around Rockland Lake again, and I have thoughts on a motion picture that I have viewed. Sorry, I'm a little clammy this morning. Can you believe I woke up like this? I watched a movie called I Saw the TV Glow, and before these names escaped my brain, let me just say it was directed by Jane Schoenbrunn, and it stars Justice Smith, of course, and Bridget Lundy Payne, I believe is the actress's name. I had to get those out because if I start talking about the movie and I try to come back and remember those names, I will not. So this is the sophomore feature from Schoenbrunn, who made a splash a couple years ago with an indie horror movie called We're All Going to the World's Fair. That was a very low budget movie that made quite an impact. I appreciated that one very much. I would say that I enjoyed that one. Kind of a creepypasta movie about an internet video that makes people go crazy. You know, on a very, very low budget. It was clear that the strength of this filmmaker was ambiance and vibes and recreating the feeling of what it's like to kind of be consumed by media. And this new movie, I Saw the TV Glow, is a slightly bigger budget exploration of similar subject matter. It's about kids who are kind of misfits who find an obsession with a TV show. And it's the 90s, and so this is a very specific type of tween young adult horror show meant for young people. So this is where I have my first kind of rocky interface with this movie, because I am from the 90s, but I'm really from the 80s. I was in college and then getting married in the 90s. I got married in 2000, but I was becoming an adult in the 90s, so I was a little too old, not too old to watch lots of cartoons and Ren and Stimpy and Beavis and Butthead and stuff, but all this stuff like Are You Afraid of the Dark and the kind of things that are sort of, I guess, being recreated or at least pastiched here. I just missed that. That stuff looked like like weird kid stuff to me, though I know there is a devoted kind of generation of kids who grew up with stuff like that. So in that sense, this movie kind of like misses me, but I do admire the swing of it. This is a fascinating movie, and the vibes and the music and the effects and the creatures and the lore of this show, it's fascinating, and it certainly has a point of view. And this is one of those ones that I admire. I feel bad for not liking it more than I do. I feel like I should have, but I can't pretend that I did. There also are some interesting filmmaking challenges for me with this movie. Things that just take me out of a movie, like the child actor playing the younger version of a character, really looking and acting and speaking nothing like the older version. There's that, it's creating this world of this abstract, like the lore of this TV show starts to leak into real life, and people don't know what's real, and they become obsessed, and that's cool. I appreciate all of that, but the lore itself is not very well coagulated. It just doesn't, it's a fine line, because it's supposed to be amorphous, it's supposed to be confusing, it's supposed to be overwhelming. But I just felt like this movie kind of changed its rules in every scene. A couple other things, like there is, on the other side of the coin, from the young actor looking nothing like the character they're supposed to be portraying as a young person, that same character is aged up in the end, and in a laughably ineffective manner. I really struggled with the end sequence of this movie, which is supposed to be where all the psychological horror comes to a head. And I just found it to be, the performances and the filmmaking to kind of buckle under their own weight. Again, it brings me no joy to report this, because I admire this. I will still, keep up with Schoenbrunn. This is a filmmaker with a perspective, and I really appreciate just the general idea of movies about the relationship we have to media. I feel like, the generation, my generation, but especially the next one, which is really who this movie is targeted at, has a very different relationship with media than previous generations did. Media and entertainment used to just kind of be the little extra little frosting that on the cake that gets you through your day, and now we have much deeper emotional connections to the media that we watch, especially when we're young. And so I really appreciate those themes. I just felt like this movie missed me. So it's on me, I guess. You know, there's a few, I have critiques of the filmmaking, but overall, if this looks interesting to you, if you're, you know, I'm 48, and so if you're younger than that, if you're 40-ish and you grew up in the 90s and this kind of like scary tween show was your thing, you might have a very different experience with this movie. There's a couple other little glitches for me, like there's a sequence in a bar where two different bands perform entire songs that just in the middle of the narrative in a pretty short movie that's pretty well paced. You know, and it feels like friends of the filmmakers, or maybe it's the filmmakers band. I don't know the story behind it, but taking a break for two entire musical interludes in the same scene, I found to be very disjointed and not the best idea. So that's it. I'm sorry. I really, really wish that I loved this movie. I liked We're All Going to the World's Fair. You know, that's about that whole creepypasta internet thing, which also, you know, misses my generation by an even wider gap. And yet I think I did enjoy that movie more. Both of these are worth checking out if you want to see what a very unique, fresh voice in filmmaking is up to in horror-ish. I mean, it's horror, but it's not like straight up horror. It's got a lot going on. So that's it for now, for today. Thank you for watching. I will talk to you again very soon. Josh out.